In the quiet village of Nkwanta, the air was thick with whispers, a shroud of betrayal that wrapped around the heart of every villager. Nana had turned her husband Sylvester's love into a poison far deadlier than what she had slipped into his food. Nana was born into a world where hunger gnawed at her belly and dreams felt like distant stars. Her childhood was marked by poverty, but her beauty shone like the sun, attracting attention wherever she went. Villagers often spoke of her radiant smile and graceful movements, admiring her from afar while they struggled with their own hardships. Despite her circumstances, Nana harbored ambitions that soared beyond the confines of her reality. When Sylvester, a kind-hearted man known for his charitable work, courted her, it felt like destiny. He had recently lost his first wife and was left to raise his teenage daughter, Moria. To Nana, marrying Sylvester was not just an escape from poverty, it was an opportunity to grasp wealth and power. The villagers celebrated their union, viewing it as a fairy tale come true, a beautiful woman marrying a good man who cared for his community. In the beginning, Nana embraced her new life with enthusiasm. She hosted gatherings in their spacious mansion, charming the villagers with her hospitality and grace. They adored her, often seeking her advice and sharing their troubles over warm meals. But as time passed, the glittering facade began to tarnish. Wealth and power ignited a hunger within Nana that could not be satisfied. As the days turned into months, Nana's desire for control grew insatiable. She wanted not just to be Sylvester's wife but the queen of his empire. Sylvester, with his soft-spoken nature, often overlooked her ambitions, believing in love's power to heal. However, when he discovered that Nana was having an affair with his closest friend, a wound opened deep within him. The village buzzed with rumors, some sided with Sylvester while others whispered about Nana's betrayal. In a moment of heartbreak and clarity, Sylvester decided to change his will, leaving her with nothing. This act shattered Nana's dreams of control and ignited a fire of rage within her. The man who had once been her ticket to wealth now stood as an obstacle between her and absolute power. Her hatred consumed her. She despised not only Sylvester but also Moria and everyone who dared to care for him. Driven by desperation and fueled by jealousy, she concocted a sinister plan with her lover. One fateful evening, as Sylvester sat down to dinner, a meal prepared by Nana herself, she served him food laced with poison. A smile masked her treachery as he ate blissfully unaware of the darkness lurking in his plate. Once he fell lifeless onto the floor, panic surged through Nana's veins. With her lover's help, they hastily buried Sylvester in the backyard under the guise that he had left without a word. They concocted a story that would keep the villagers at bay. After all, who would suspect the beautiful wife of such heinous acts? As soon as Sylvester was buried in the backyard, unsettling happenings began to plague the mansion. Villagers reported hearing disembodied whispers drifting through the night air, calling out for Sylvester. Some claimed they saw shadows flitting past the windows, while others felt an inexplicable chill whenever they ventured too close to the property. The once warm atmosphere of the home transformed into something eerie and foreboding. Moria, Sylvester's teenage daughter, was particularly affected by these strange happenings. She had been away visiting a friend in a nearby village when her father was poisoned and buried. Upon her return, she sensed an overwhelming heaviness in the air, a stark contrast to the laughter and love that had once filled their home. The villagers watched her closely, their hearts heavy with sympathy as they saw her searching for answers in a place that now felt foreign. The villagers were initially shocked by Sylvester's sudden disappearance. They had loved him for his kindness and charity work, and many couldn't fathom how his devoted wife could betray him so cruelly. As rumors began to swirl about Nana's involvement, their sympathy turned into suspicion. Some villagers whispered that they had seen Nana acting strangely after Sylvester's disappearance. Her laughter felt hollow, her eyes lacked warmth. They began to distance themselves from her, fearing that association might bring them misfortune. The community that once embraced her now regarded her with distrust and disdain. Maria, struggling with grief and confusion, sought solace in her friends but found little comfort. The whispers of betrayal haunted her every step. She often wandered to the backyard where her father was buried, feeling an inexplicable pull toward it. Her heart ached for closure, yet she was met only with silence from the earth that held him. As weeks passed, the mansion seemed to come alive with supernatural energy. Villagers reported seeing flickering lights through the windows at odd hours and hearing soft cries echoing through the night. Some claimed they felt a presence watching them when they walked past, others swore they heard Sylvester's voice calling out for help. Maria became increasingly consumed by these occurrences. One night, driven by an urge she couldn't explain, she ventured into the backyard where her father lay buried. As she knelt on the ground, tears streaming down her face, she felt a cold breeze wash over her, a whisper of wind that seemed to carry her father's name. As time went on, Nena's life unraveled further under the weight of guilt and isolation. She would often hear whispers calling her name at night, taunting reminders of what she had done. The villagers continued to shun her, even those who had once been close friends turned their backs. Maria's heart hardened against her stepmother. She could not understand how someone could betray a man who had shown nothing but kindness to them both. Each day brought new rumors about Nena's supposed dealings with dark forces and witchcraft, tales spun from fear and anger. One night during a fierce storm, lightning struck near their home. The earth trembled as if it were rejecting the weight of their secret. The following morning brought an unsettling discovery. The ground had shifted, revealing part of Sylvester's body, his hand still clutching the necklace he had given Nena on their wedding day. The village erupted in horror as they pieced together the truth. As the days passed after Sylvester's body was discovered, the atmosphere in Nkwanta grew increasingly tense. The villagers, fueled by anger and a thirst for justice, turned their focus toward Nena. Whispers of betrayal echoed through the streets, and the once celebrated woman found herself surrounded by a community that now viewed her with suspicion and disdain. Despite mounting evidence and the villagers' accusations, Nena remained defiant. She refused to confess to any wrongdoing, insisting that she was innocent. "I love Sylvester," she shouted at the villagers who gathered outside her home. "He left without telling anyone. You're all just trying to blame me." But her words fell on deaf ears. The villagers were no longer willing to accept her lies. Fueled by grief and anger, they decided it was time for a reckoning. A group of men from the village approached her home, their faces set in grim determination. "Maria has lost her father," one of them declared. "You will answer for your actions." Nena's heart raced as she realized they intended to take her to the village shrine for a ritual, a traditional practice meant to uncover the truth through divine intervention. She tried to resist, but the villagers were unyielding. They grabbed her arms and dragged her from her home, ignoring her protests. As they marched toward the shrine, villagers lined the path, their eyes filled with a mixture of anger and pity. Maria walked among them, her heart heavy with conflicting emotions. She felt a sense of justice rising within her, but also a deep sadness for what had become of her family. At the shrine, the chief priest awaited them, his presence commanding respect and authority. The air was thick with tension as he prepared for the ritual intended to reveal Nena's guilt or innocence. The villagers gathered around, their faces illuminated by flickering torches that cast eerie shadows on the ground. The chief priest began chanting ancient incantations, invoking the spirits of their ancestors to bear witness to what had transpired. He called upon the earth and sky to reveal the truth hidden in darkness. As he performed the ritual, Nena felt a wave of fear wash over her. She could sense that danger loomed ahead. With each chant, she felt an overwhelming urge to confess, an instinctive understanding that denial would only lead to further suffering. The weight of her guilt pressed heavily on her chest as she recalled Sylvester's kindness and love. Finally, unable to bear it any longer, she fell to her knees before the chief priest and the gathered villagers. "I confess," she cried out, tears streaming down her face. "I poisoned him. I let my ambition blind me. I wanted control over everything." Gasps echoed through the crowd as Nena's confession hung in the air like a dark cloud. The chief priest paused his chanting, his expression shifting from solemnity to understanding as he processed her words. The villagers were stunned into silence. They had awaited this moment but had not expected it to come so swiftly. Anger surged through them once more as they realized that Nena's ambition had cost them not only Sylvester but also their sense of peace. "You have betrayed us all," one villager shouted. "You will not remain in Nkwanta." The chief priest stepped forward, raising his hand for silence. "Nena has confessed," he said gravely. "But we must decide how to proceed." After much deliberation, it was agreed that Nena would be banished from Nkwanta, a punishment meant to cleanse their community of her darkness while also allowing her a chance at redemption elsewhere. "You will leave this village and never return," declared the chief priest. "May you find peace in your exile." As she was led away from the shrine, Nena felt an overwhelming mix of emotions, anger at herself for what she had done and deep sorrow for what she was losing, not just Sylvester but also any semblance of love or acceptance from those around her. Before leaving Nkwanta forever, Maria confronted Nena one last time at the edge of the village. "You destroyed our family," she said quietly, pain etched across her face. "You took away my father and everything good we had." Nena looked into Maria's eyes and saw only hurt reflected back at her. "I know I can never make this right," she whispered, tears falling freely now. "But I hope you find happiness without me." Maria shook her head slowly. "You don't deserve happiness after what you've done." With that final exchange hanging between them like an unbreakable chain of sorrow, Nena turned away from Nkwanta, her heart heavy with regret and resentment as she walked into an uncertain future. As she vanished into the distance, Nkwanta began to heal from its wounds, a community forever changed by betrayal but determined to honor Sylvester's memory through acts of kindness and unity. Maria vowed to keep his spirit alive in their hearts while learning from the darkness that had threatened to consume them all. In this tale woven with ambition and tragedy, Nkwanta emerged stronger, an enduring reminder that even in moments of despair, hope could still flourish when nurtured by love and community resilience. Did you enjoy the tale? I hope so. Please like and share the video, drop your comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell for more enchanting tales like this one. Thanks for watching and see you on the next.